Hey, Faithful, welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're going to be talking about the past couple of weeks or so of 49ers updates and things that have happened, and one of the best things, lack of drama, and I'll go into that I did a little filming at a field trip sort of thing. I went somewhere and did part of my episode there, so I'll throw that in, and I think you all like it. But we'll also talk a little bit about one of the odd things that I've seen. Well, I guess it's not really odd. I think as 49er fans, we kind of come to expect it from Adam Rank and his predictions for the year. We'll start off with that. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely use the comments for sure. Appreciate the subscribers that have already been there. If you're new to the show, go ahead and subscribe. Hope you all like it. Definitely the comments, though, I think are my most important thing right now. I need to know what you guys feel about the show and what I can improve. What do you want to hear? I'd like to make it a little different than all the others if I can. I am stealing little bits and pieces from everybody else. I mean, like if you're a David Lombardi fan, which you should be, he's awesome at what he does. He's been doing his shows from his vacation trips in Europe. Well, I can't actually go to Europe, not anymore anyway. I'm not in the military anymore. And when I was there, I was stationed in Germany for a long time. They didn't have social media. This is in the 90s. When I was there, so I didn't get that luxury of being able to do shows like that from there. But there's a local things I can go to, and you'll see that today later in the show. But let's move on and let's start out with the Adam Rank predictions. Let me bring it up here on the screen. So as you can see, I'm getting this from Yahoo Sports. That's the first thing that popped up when I looked it up. So he's thinking we're going to go 9-8. 9-8. I don't know if people have been watching me for a while. I definitely disagree with that. And I'm sure as 49er fans, we would all disagree with that. But let's just go through it and figure out where he might be wrong, where he might be right. So the first first week, he's wrong. And so Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, and he thinks we're going to lose. So while the Seahawks have gone through a change as well, like the 49ers, they kind of did a reboot themselves. Their reboot pretty much has changed differently than ours because they lost pillars. What do I mean by pillars? If you've watched David Lombardi, and again, I think you should, he talks about the pillars of the team. Every team has 6 to 8 pillars, like the 49ers pillars. Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Deommodore Lenoir. Maybe Ayuk if he comes back really healthy and ready to go. But we'll talk about Ayuk later in the show. But the Seahawks actually lost what I would consider 3 of their pillars. And those pillars being DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and of course, Geno Smith. So now they kind of only, to me it looks like they kind of only replaced the 2 wide receivers with 1 wide receiver. And he's still a good receiver, don't get me wrong. Cooper Kupp is up there, though, he could still bounce back and do really good with the Seahawks, but I think he's only going to be average. And Sam Darnold as their new quarterback. Now, we all saw what Sam Darnold did with the Vikings. And not to say that wasn't, he didn't do a good job. He did a great job with the Vikings. But you saw what happened at the end of the season. He kind of started choking. I'm of the mind that that's probably what's going to happen again. I think Sam Darnold, when he was part of the 49ers, he learned a lot, which is why he took it to the Vikings and he was so successful there. But now he's going to another team, so this will be 3 teams in 3 years. So 3 different coordinators, 3 different head coaches, 3 different teams he's been throwing to. I don't think he's going to mesh that well that quickly with the Seahawks. So on the other side of that coin, for that first game, the 49ers, Brock Purdy already has good feel with with the receivers that are currently there. George Kittle, Juwan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, he's coming back healthy. Brandon Ayuk, when he's out there, he's going to be healthy when he's out there. Even Ricky Pearsall, he's going to be out there. He has good rapport with him. Jacob Cowing, he's going to have good rapport with him. Garendo has good rapport with him. This is making it so I think the 49ers are going to do so much better against the Seattle Seahawks than wonderful Adam Rank seems to think. So I think that's a win. He's right with the Saints. He's right with the Cardinals. He's right with the Jaguars. The Rams at Levi South. I still think we are going to win that one. Again, this is one of those how are the quarterback and receiver working together well. Now, he still has Puka Nacua, and give him credit. Awesome receiver. But they took Cooper Kupp away, and now they have Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, while a good receiver, especially with the chemistry he had back when they were in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't had that chemistry with anybody else since, even with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Excuse me. So I don't foresee that being a major issue that early in the year. Yeah, week 5. So it'll be an up in the air game. I still think we have a chance. We should win that one. I think we're going to win against the Bucks. I think we're going to win against Atlanta. Houston Texans. Again, that's the middle of the year. That one might be a little more interesting, but I still think we can win that one. Of course, we're going to beat the Giants. At home against the Rams, we're going to win. In Arizona, we're going to beat the Cardinals. I mean, we could end up being 13-0 by the bye week because I think we can win all of those games. We could realistically, I know an NFL season is just that. You never know what's going to happen every Sunday. I personally see that we could possibly, there's a good possibility that we could win this out. But it's a tough one for who are we going to lose to? Yes, we could go back up and lose at week 5. We could lose at Los Angeles to the Rams. It's possible. Maybe the Texans. The Texans are good. D'Amico Ryans. We'll see about that. I don't expect us to lose twice to the Rams. The Cardinals are iffy. It all depends on how well they're doing. So we'll see how that goes. But other than, I'm still predicting my personal prediction 12 plus wins. So there might be just a random loss here or there, just close game, bad weather, whatever. Like this last game of the season versus the Seahawks, if we've already locked down the playoff run, especially if we've already locked down, first round bye, throw in the backups and go from there. So, yeah, the Bears game might be a tough one, depending on how well the Bears are doing the rest of the year. They have a good chance of coming back. I think their team. I'm not a huge Caleb Williams fan, but we'll see how he does this year. He has a better offensive line now. We'll see how that goes. But I'm personally thinking 12 plus wins as opposed to 9 wins that Adam Rank says. Kind of crazy if you ask me. So that's my opinion on the whole Adam Rank thing. It's really weird. He always does that. It's like he doesn't have any respect for the team. I don't know how much NFL the guy actually knows. I mean, he just throws numbers out there, and yeah, it's just really weird. So yeah, 12 plus wins this season. That's my prediction. So let's move on. Alfred Collins. Let's talk some Alfred Collins. He hasn't signed yet. And is he going to hold out at training camp? I don't know. I think it would be in his best interest, even if he is still looking for a contract, to still be there and still do normal training camp stuff. Oh, and I'll go into a little bit of training camp stuff, more general, in a minute. But Alfred Collins holding out, it isn't just I'm sure we all know this, it isn't just a 49er thing. The first 2 rookies of the second round signed guaranteed contracts. One of them, I think, was the Texans. But the other one was the Browns. And we all know how well the Browns work with their contracts. So I don't think you should. I don't think any of these other rookies should be, and their representatives should be taking this super seriously, because the Browns tend to do weird outlying stuff that, yeah, look at Deshaun Watson, the whole debacle there, what they did. And I think they're doing the same thing, bad decision, with signing their second round rookie to a guaranteed contract, guaranteed money. So I think if they can get, the 49ers can get that through Alfred Collins and his representative's head, that, hey, that's an outlier. That's not going to really happen. And get him signed, then we'll all be good. I think it'll happen eventually. It's going to happen. It just depends on when it's going to happen. Is he going to hold out until everybody else signs before him? The 8 more players that are ahead of him that haven't signed yet. Is he just going to kind of wait until each one finally signs until it's down? All right, than him, and then everybody else signs after him. And it's unfortunate that it's happening, but I still think he's a good enough player. Maybe he won't be ready for week one. Maybe the preseason games will show that, and he'll have to sit on the bench for a little bit. Yeah, we got him for that reason, to try to start right away, but hey, those things happen. He's a rookie. So if that happens, I do not see any major issues with getting him signed. It's just, when will we sign him? So, as I mentioned, talk a little bit about the rest of training camp. I went on, I wanted to know exactly, I was trying to do the research and try to find exactly what happens at rookie training camp. That first week, they're going to report on Tuesday. I'm assuming they're reporting, hey, we're here. So Wednesday would be the first practice for them. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know if they practice on they'll practice Saturday. But what exactly happens? So I put that out on my X account, and I added a couple of bigger name people, Matt Miyoko, Jennifer Lee Chan, David Lombardi, the two hosts of Locked On 49ers. If you haven't heard of them, you should. It's a Locked On Podcast Network, Locked On 49ers. And those two are really good. They have a good rapport with each other. One of them is a former cornerback with the New York Jets and Arena League champion in Eric Crocker. And he actually responded to me. It was amazing. I was really, really happy that he responded. No one else responded to me. No one else, even in just fellow fans or anything, responded to me. It's out there if you want to look it up. But he said back when he was a rookie, 2013-ish, that what happens at training camp for those rookies that first week, when it's just them, they do regular practices, but no pads, just helmets, no pads. They do the normal practice, whatever normal practice consists of. My guess is, a couple hours on the field, couple hours in weight room, couple hours on the field in the afternoon, couple hours in film room, stuff like that. If anybody has any sort of links, or they've seen a show where they go over what happens at training camp, please forward it to me. I'd like to know, and I can bring it out a little bit more. It's hard for a fan who isn't even in California to get this info. I've tried to find it. I've tried to ask. I'm still going to keep looking. So if anyone has any hints on that, let me know. But with Alfred College and the rest of the rookies, I think we did a good job in the draft. I think we got what we needed. And with our light schedule, it's going to be good for them. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. Quick, good note, happy note. Christian McCaffrey and his wife, their baby is born. It's a girl. Her name is, there it is, Colette Annalise McCaffrey. And they do have a picture. I don't know if I can get it up here. Let me see if I can. Oh, they have a group of pictures. Here we go. I'll put this up here. There we go. That's awesome, isn't it? I don't know if how many of you are parents out there. I remember when my son was born. It was an awesome experience. I wish I could have got him more into football, but that's okay. He's still a great kid. Not a kid anymore. My boy's 24. But this is awesome. happy for the McCaffrey family welcoming in their daughter. All right, I am sure that as you can see, I brought this up. That's my next topic. Just another quick topic because I think I brought it up before, and I'm sure we all heard about it. And that's, by the way, David Lombardi, in case you didn't know. Nick Martin broke his thumb. Not a big deal, even if the season started today and he wasn't fully healed. I'm sure we've all seen players, defensive wise at least, where the club, big cast over his whole the whole hand. They can still play through that. Not a big deal. He's going to be fine. I've personally never broken a bone, so I don't know how it feels. Sprained a couple, never broken one. But I'm sure he's going to be fine. Ready for the season, ready for training camp, ready for preseason games. And he's going to be fine. Next, talk a little bit about the rest of training of preseason. So we played Denver August 9th. We play the Raiders August 16th, and then the Chargers on the 23rd. So the team doesn't have to travel far. They play the Raiders in Las Vegas, but that's not like a major trip or anything. Both Denver and the Raiders are also going to be, they're going to have joint practices. I think those are more important than the actual preseason games. And I think it's because of practicing against a team that's not your own. Yeah, the game is going to be important enough for, hey, this is what I learned, this is what I'm showing you, but the actual learning during the practices is much more important, I think. And I think that's the most valuable thing that can happen. Normally, as far as I understand, it's usually only been like, one joint practice with the team. This year we get to do joint practices with two separate teams. And none of them are very far for us to go. Denver has to come to us. We go to the Raiders, but Las Vegas, really, it's not that much of a deal. And then back with the Chargers. So it's going to be a great learning experience. And of course, obviously, sometime after the Chargers game, we'll be down to the 53-man roster. Speaking of that, if you want to send me your predictions for the 53-man roster and the practice squad, go ahead. I think maybe next week or the week after, I will put out my guess of the 53-man roster. So I'll let you guys know. All right. Now, I think that's good for this week. I know there was a big thing about George Kittle and Mikael Williams, but I actually said have that in this next segment before we end the show. I'll put it added on there. It's in there from my field trip where I talked about the 49ers that I did in a different location. So hope you enjoy that. And once you watch that, I'll see you guys next time. Go Niners. So this part of the episode, we're on location in the town that I happen to live in, Watertown, Wisconsin. And I am at a historical site. Let me flip this. As you can see, first kindergarten in the United States. I mean, walk backwards here and let you see the whole building. It's an interesting spot because it's not just this building that is part of it. There's a statue over here. Let's go walk over there real quick. As we're walking, talk a little bit about our 49ers. George Kittle had an interview with Matt Mayoko, and he talked about some of the items and things that veterans can do to help the rookies acclimate. And some of that was based on things like getting them to feel the game like they're even during practice, like it was an actual game. And that's understandable. It certainly helps to be able to play the game thinking, be in practice and understanding the game like it, was actually a game instead of just practice. And the number of reps, simply the number of reps was one of his big things as well. The rookies have to get all the reps that they can get, but stay healthy at the same time. That's not an easy task. But I think with Saleh there and Shanahan, I think that can happen. One of the other things he talked about was the fact that his interaction, speaking of rookies, with Mikael Williams. Now, obviously, Mikael Williams is a defensive player, defensive end. During practice, they're going to go up against each other. And one of the things that Mikael Williams mentioned was that he thinks it's disrespectful for tight ends to block him. And of course, George Kittle, being George Kittle, he just told him, "Hey, welcome to the NFL, baby." So not to be insulting, obviously, the exclamation of "baby," like Garoppolo did several years back when he did that. Everyone took it weird. But anyway, another thing about the place that I'm at is this building here. It's called the Octagon House. The Octagon House, I'll put this up here so everyone can pause and read it if they so desire. So it was 57 rooms, closets, and halls, 5 stories. Doesn't look 5 stories to me, to be honest, but I haven't been in it yet. I've lived here over 20 years and I haven't been here. So now I'm going to have to come here on a day that it's actually open and check out the inside. But I like the idea that it's something that happened, that they did before the Civil War. The architectural design of an 8-sided house. Definitely would love to get inside, and I will eventually. And when I do that, we'll be talking more 49ers football when I do that. Another thing they got over here is they did a miniature of the house, which seems pretty cool. Not unlike a practice. Maybe, they could have built this before they built the house, like a practice the 49ers do before a game. Pretty cool little model. Sun's coming out now, which is awfully nice. It's been kind of wonderful weather. Last night we even had tornado warnings, but today it's come out pretty nice. So I had to get out and do a little talking about our 49ers. So another thing that I wouldn't mind mentioning, since I actually hadn't brought it up that much, I haven't done a full episode. Speaking of that, I will be doing more episodes now that the training camp is starting on Tuesday, for the rookies anyway. But the whole thing with, how can I put this? So the whole thing with Deommodore Lenoir, I hadn't brought up before, only because we didn't have all the facts when it first came out. That first day or so, we didn't know what happened. We just heard that he was arrested, and everyone started panicking. Oh, here's the drama for the 49ers. And after the time went by and we found out more information, we found out that it wasn't anything on the fault, really, of Deommodore Lenoir. It was more the person he was riding with, and he just got keys thrown to him and resisted of some sort, and it ended up not being as big of a deal as it could have been. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been in a car with somebody with a weapon, but hey, he might not even know it was there. So either way, I didn't bring it up until now, just to let it all calm down and realize that, hey, yeah, there was no real drama there. This has been a relatively drama-free off-season for the 49ers, which they definitely needed. This is another reason why I think the 49ers are going to have a big bounce-back season. I think I've said it before, 10 plus, 12 plus. I'm thinking 12 plus myself, win season this year. They're going to win the NFC West for sure, in my opinion, of course. And just a no-drama offseason is one of the biggest helps. So with that, I'm going to get back to my normal filming place and go over some more Niner stuff.